This game is called Visitor in Blackwood Grove. It's sort of a party-ish game, and it's got a really cool art theme, and it's got an overall really cool theme. The idea is that one person plays as a crash-landed alien who is attempting to communicate with humanity, and they want to communicate with the kid who finds this scenario. Think of like an old school 80s films, think of like E.T., you know, the kid finds the alien, wants to protect him. And then there's also the shadowy government agencies that are also trying to connect with the alien. And so you have to communicate using these cards, these pictures, essentially. And there's a lot of different pieces of art here. All of the art is absolutely wonderful. It's very whimsical, it's very fun, it's very simple. The idea being that you create, as the alien, a specific pass rule, and you have to communicate to the others what goes in and out of the barrier. And in order to do that, you come up with something like, let's just say real simple, things that are round. So anytime someone would put this card up, you would hand it to the alien would say, this is inside the shield, and it may go here, face down, so that only that one shadowy government agency understands that a basketball is inside. But they may look at another piece and say, well, I don't want to shuffle through all of these, but let's say there's a football in here, and he hands it to me, and I say, well, that's outside. So it doesn't have to do with sports per se, it has to do with, you know, something else. And it could have to do with the things with lines on it. It could be things that are stitched together. It could be things that are orange, because the basketball's orange. It could be all kinds of different possibilities. And the kid also is trying to build trust with the alien, and they have another tracker that allows them to do other special things. Then at the end, a player, any player, will put down 4 cards for the alien and basically say, these 2 are in, these 2 are out, am I correct? And the alien will say yes or no. The cool thing about this end phase is that if you have limited information, you can still make a guess. And in some ways, this still gives you information. Because if you said, you know, this one is in and these are out, then you know it's not just about the color. This has a similar color to the basketball, but it's not just the color, because there's also something round in here that I need you to put into the shield. And when people see this, they get a little bit of information, because this is all face up and your previous information was face down, so you don't want to do this too often. The cool thing about that secondarily is that with that limited information, you can make an educated guess to try to like run for victory, try to jump into the final phase and just win. And I like that about this game. The thing that happened in this game for me that actually made it not work out for our group, I should explain our group actually. Our group is very much a cult of the new group. So when we got this game, we were like, oh, this is great, let's play it. We'll play it a handful of times, then we'll be done. But we also have a ton of people coming in and out of games. So every Wednesday night when we host game night, we see like 20 to 30 people. There's never one group playing the same games together for very long. And so in this game, the meta never really developed, and this needs a meta to go with it. And the reason it needs a meta to go with it is because the pass rule is generally very subjective. It can be things that are tall, but tall is very subjective. To me, things that are taller than 5'5" are tall, because that's taller than me. I'm a short person. But to somebody else, you know, something in here might not be quite as tall. And like certain things like this tractor, I might say it's tall because it's relatively tall, but that's not its defining characteristic, and so nobody's going to look at this as a thing that is tall. They're going to think of it as farm equipment, or it has something round on it, or does this go through the pass rule of things that are round because it has tires on it? All of these questions are extremely subjective, and unfortunately for me and my group, it kind of killed the magic of the game, because what I just told you is probably enough to sell you on this game. The idea that you're an alien, you can only communicate through these really pretty cards that are just wonderfully detailed and arted out. the idea of the kid having a special way to communicate with the alien. The alien has a limited number of cards on their own where they will tell publicly what's in and out, and they can also, once they build trust with the kid, only show the kid the cards that are in and out, which is a really interesting play. Now, another thing about this game is it does come with some cards that have suggestions for pass rules. So if you want to play with just these, this would make a lot more sense. These pass rules are things that are like things that contain metal, or things with strings, or things in this room, or things that move, stuff like that. So things that move could be anything that moves under its own locomotion, or things that are known for moving. So like, the basketball could be a thing that moves. That's another subjective element that I have a problem with this game, and that's my own personal problem. You may not have that same problem with this game. This game is ultimately a lot of fun, and I do recommend it that you at least give it a shot. It's got some fun, cool elements, and the art, of course, is beautiful, but that's just my take on it. I expect the people in the comments to show up and say, well, you're wrong, it's a great game, and here's why you're wrong. You just need to play it more, or whatever. And I would agree that we would need to play it more to actually develop that meta. Unfortunately, I had a real hard time enjoying the game because I got so frustrated not knowing the pass rule. And then when I was also the alien, not being able to communicate the pass rule and coming up with so many different things like this pan. It has a round center, but is it round? The part we utilize is round, but not the part we grab. So I could very easily think I know the answer to that, and I tell someone, yes, it is round, and they're like, well, that's not round. Like, you played the game wrong. It's so subjective. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked what you saw and you want to see the rest of our videos, it helps us if you can like, share, subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell icon for YouTube so you can get alerted, and tap your screen, join us on IGTV, and all the other IG stuff as well, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.